When you think of Five Nights at Freddy's, you think of a 2D based point and click horror game. Back in 2014, this was an interesting and cool concept where the player was stuck in one room with the camera system and the only line of defense was two metal doors. If you remember back in August for FNAF's 10-year anniversary, I posted a FNAF Remakes video. This video went through a bunch of fan games planned to remake FNAF better than the originals. A lot of these games worked out well and others definitely didn't. There is one specific fan game I didn't talk about though, and is probably one of the most hyped projects of all time when it comes to FNAF and its fan games. What game is this exactly? Did you not read the fucking title? Welcome to FNAF in real time. This game takes the 2D based game and adds 3D elements to make the game feel more alive. One of the best things about these elements being added is the ability for the animatronics to actually move on the cameras, a concept that was originally started in FNAF Rewritten, a FNAF remake I covered in my previous video. As all good reviews go, we need to start at the beginning. The opening cutscene shows us in an animatronic suit on the show stage. We are in the center of both Bonnie and Chica, but we are not in Freddy's suit. We are a completely different animatronic. Before we can fully process anything, Brother shows up. We learn that the person we are in the suit believes that Brother was the person behind the killings of children that even includes his own daughter. Though after stating this, Brother says one final thing before disappearing into the darkness.
Alive.
Bonnie and Chica rush you, and we get a cutscene, and it shows the entire history of FNAF from an outsider's perspective. Custom newspapers to tie in a story, and ending with the original Help Wanted newspaper from the original game. Did you go to the bathroom yet? What if I hit no? Oh, fucking Jesus! Fucking great. I will say this title screen is really cool. Watch the animatronics walk in and out of frame in a loop is really cool. Plus, it also shows the animation detail of the animatronics, showing how much detailing and work went into this game. So, let's kick it off with Night 1. Night 1 begins with no phone call. What kind of shit is this? This is just like the original Night 1 in the first game where you begin to get your bearings for the rest of the nights going forward. There are minor details with the supply closet light moving like there is a fan or air conditioning blowing against it. Then just looking at the office, you can see the difference with the fan moving back and forward and the papers moving from the wind coming from the fan itself. As for the night, well, it's a Night 1, that's for sure. The only difference in the beginning is the fact that Bonnie's AI value is set for him to start moving at 1 AM instead of 2. I think this compensates for the lack of a phone call and adds some more realism to the game itself. I want to take this time to take in the ambience in this game. The sound design adds a more ominous feel to the game and can cause more anxiety when playing the game. The only thing I hate is that they didn't give Bonnie an animation for going into the dining area, as he just pops in like the original game. Only difference is the camera doesn't go staticky when they move, so he literally just pops in. Another key factor is they don't hang around the halls when moving them. They actually just walk through the halls instead of stopping to look at the camera and go straight to the hall corners. Plus, when they do leave those corners and go to your door, they sit in the doorway, and when you turn on the light, you just see their silhouette instead of the detailed character model. Kind of creepy, not gonna lie. The other nice detail is that both Bonnie and Chica can go to either hallway, and I like this idea as you don't know exactly who is going to show up at each doorway. Night 1 also has an in-game sequence. Sometime after the clock hits 5 AM, all the animatronics go back to the stage and perform a showtime sequence. It's a neat little extra flair to add onto the night. Once the sequence ends, it looks like all hell breaks loose. Every animatronic becomes active and starts heading your way. This is supposed to inflict panic on the player as nothing is going to happen, and it is just to scare you. After Night 1, we get a cutscene. This shows the main character who we play as for this game, Donovan, going through the security footage from the first night. He talks about his mindset and what was going through his head as the night progressed. This begins the story on how Donovan attempted to make it through 5 Nights at Freddy's. Alright, let's get into Night 2. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Welcome to the minimap. This is a 2D rendition of the FNAF 1 pizzeria. This is how we unlock nights. We walk around and listen to the prompt at the bottom left of the screen. You will also notice that there are pixel icons that show which animatronics show up during the night. Night 2 is just a harder version of Night 1. Oh, hey, we got a phone call this time. He pretty much explains that the phone line was disconnected and he was unable to reach you the night before. I don't understand why he gives us the tutorial like we didn't just beat Night 1, but I will let that go. Anyways, like I said, Night 2 is just a harder version of Night 1 as Bonnie and Chica are more aggressive than before. Heading back into the minimap for Night 3, we need to go to Pirate's Cove. As we unlock it, we can see that Foxy is the only one highlighted, and there is a good reason for it. The night starts off kind of slow with Bonnie, Chica, and Freddy not moving off of the stage. The phone guy also states that Foxy doesn't move when the cameras are on him, and they actually mean it this time.
But, as we both know, Fazbear Entertainment doesn't want you making any new friends. So, make sure...
What the fuck? Foxy is more aggressive than he has ever been. One nice thing about Foxy is he can go down either of the two hallways, so that means you need to pay attention to which one he goes down to close it. Well, I think that is what the main idea was, but I will get to that on the next night. As you have noticed, Foxy is aggressive, and once I close him out another time, the soundtrack kicks off. Welcome everyone to the Night 3 Foxy boss fight. He will not go back to his stage in Pirate's Cove, as once you shut him out of one door, he runs to the other. Eventually, he will roam around the entire building, running through the dining room to the bathroom. He wants to trick you and make you panic. Once the night hits 2 a.m., the cameras stop working, and he appears in the doorways as Phone Guy is cut off. You need to look at both doors and see which one he is coming out of. Once you shut him at one, he will go to the other. Keep doing this until he gets tired. Once he does, Bonnie, Chica, and Freddy will all leave the show stage at once, and now you must deal with them. Foxy won't come back to your office, and now you have to deal with the other three. Finally, the night ends, and it leaves you thinking about how different this game is to the original. The night has a cutscene play after it. The phone guy starts talking about how he doesn't expect us to come back after what we just had to deal with. He also begins to explain the MCI incident. He was a guard before us, and he explains the animatronics are just kids, and they don't understand the difference with blue and purple, hinting that they know it was William Afton who killed them years ago. I will play this cutscene in full from start to finish for you now.
Hello again. I don't know if you're coming in tonight, and I understand why. But last night was intense. I said some things about you dying, life or death. I know it's a lot, but frankly, I'd be quite surprised to see you here another night. I guess I should explain. It's about time I let you in on the secret. The animatronics don't exactly have programming. They do, but that's not why they're acting up. Something happened years ago. It was in the news. The police were called. The second missing children's incident occurred. Missing isn't exactly the correct term. While the police and general public weren't able to find any evidence or remains, we know what happened. Or rather, who. Look, this is a lot to take in, but they're not trying to hurt you. They are lost, they are scared, and they can't tell the difference between any two men in blue or purple suits. I had your job once. Tried to make them see me for who I was and not for who last had my shift, but how would they know? They're just kids.
For night 4, the minimap tells us to go to the prize corner. Once unlocking it, we have access to the FEC, the Fazbear Employment Console. This is your terminal hub where you can find music, cutscenes, and all of your nights in one area. You can even customize your avatar. I took the preset James Dev avatar and renamed him Beef! Also, look at this helpy version of Freddy. He is so cute, I want to punt him into space. Heading into night 4, we are greeted to an updated version of the pizzeria. New cameras were installed. One of them is for the entrance and the other is for the safe room. Noting the existence of the old spring body costume is locked away. They even fixed the kitchen camera. Something a lot of games try to replicate, but this is definitely the best out of the bunch. Night 4 is pretty simple. Just look through the cameras and Jesus Christ! So this is new. The new thing that was added is switching through the cameras has a chance for them to get attacked and switch positions. Now, on the last night, I explained that Foxy can go down either hallway, making it to where you should keep track of him. However, look at this. I hear Foxy running down one of the hallways, and there is a window after his footsteps stop that he has to jump scare you. I close both doors so that he can't get in without needing to know which hallway he is coming from. That makes Foxy one of the easiest animatronics to deal with here. He also doesn't take any of your power when he hits your door, unlike the first game. The other person we need to worry about is Freddy. Freddy works the same way like all of the animatronics, as he can go down either hallway. Unlike the original though, Freddy actively walks over to your door before he enters the office. This gives you a 2 to 3 second window to close the respective door he is at. Just keep an eye on the two corners to find where he is going, as he will laugh when he moves. Once he hits the door, he will laugh again and he leaves. I would say wait 1 second before reopening it, as on later nights I didn't and he turned his Freddy Faz ass around and killed me. Just repeat this pattern and the night is over. After beating the night, we get a 2D sprite minigame as Brother, the animatronic that we first saw in the opening cutscene. You're needing to grab posters and put them around the entire pizzeria. These are the locations for the posters you can find when we are in the minimap. You can collect these whenever. I don't know how much to game progression they convert to, but it is progression. Once you are done, you head back to the front door, but the door is open. And then it cuts to black. Heading into night 5, we need to go to the show stage, probably the hardest to maneuver to for unlocking it. Once you do unlock it, the entire pizzeria lights up and you can move freely. The animatronics only attack you in the darkness and now they just roam. Night 5 is beaten the same way, and using the same strategy you can beat the night pretty easily. The animatronics are more aggressive obviously, and they do get annoying, but as long as you pay attention and don't panic, you will win pretty easily. Beaten the night, you go into another 2D sprite minigame as you go to exit the pizzeria. As you reach the entrance, William Afton comes through the door and attacks you, which then causes the game to crash. Reloading the game, we get a new cutscene. This is a FNAF 6 styled ending where the phone guy worries about Donovan and regrets not telling you to get out sooner. Enjoy it.
Return it to its place of origin. This is not meant for you. And now, Donovan, I'm speaking to you. I don't know why I couldn't contact you tonight. I don't know what happened. So I suppose someone didn't want us talking after all. You are not the first person to pass under my watch, and you likely won't be the last. Hopefully, you will find this message, if your spirit roams the halls like they do. But who knows how long they have left. Just know that I did everything in my power, everything, to keep you going. I should have told you to leave sooner, but that doesn't matter now. There's nothing more that can be done for what they have become, and now, no one can do anything else for you.
After the cutscene ends, we are put into the minimap. This is where we will load into every time we load the game from now on. We can now walk around the entire building and unlock more doors. One of the ones I wanted to unlock first was the entrance. When we do that, we can walk outside of the pizzeria and go to different buildings. The buildings have extra posters to find in them, but not much else. It is really cool though. Now we have access to the challenge nights, so let us get into them. Challenge 1 is pretty simple. It turns Bonnie and Chica into war machines as they are more aggressive than ever. Just make sure you know which door they are coming from and shut the door when needed. These challenge nights are shorter to not make them impossible. Challenge 1 is 3 minutes long and this repeats to all of the other nights. Also during the challenge nights, you get phone calls that are voiced by other YouTubers. These guys have helped support the series for a while now, and it is a nice touch to hear them featured as nice little cameos. Challenge 2 involves looking around for Freddy and Foxy. Without the threat of Bonnie and Chica, I wouldn't call this a challenge. It is very easy to deal with both of these animatronics, and I think if Foxy was still able to take power, closing both doors would be a bad idea. Pretty easy in my opinion. After beating this challenge, we unlock Night 6. Night 6 is pretty difficult. The animatronics are harder than ever, and it can get confusing and overwhelming. This actually caused my first deaths in my entire playthrough of this game, dying to mistakes I kept making during the nights. One cool thing is when I died my second time to Chica, I got jump scared by the animatronic that we were in during the opening cutscene, meaning I died to fucking Donovan. They really made it known that not even full-grown adults can tell the difference between blue and purple. However, there is an explanation. There was a locked sprite until after we beat Night 5. The name is Michael, meaning we go through all the challenge nights and Night 6 playing as Michael Afton. This makes sense on why they get so aggressive since this is William's son and he's being mistaken as his own father. Anyways, back to the night. This night will make you panic and unable to make rational decisions. I will state that there is a chance when looking at the animatronics, there is a visual change where they become Sparky the dog. Kind of cool. After 4 attempts, I beat the night and we get another 2D sprite minigame. This time we are a duck? We need to walk through the forest and find a key and then head to the lake. This will cause the old man consequences effect. The lake will turn red and from the side of the screen, William Afton will appear again. I don't know where this is going in the lore, but it is a head scratcher. I am giving a flashing lights warning for this night. If you need to skip, use the timestamps in the description. This night will cause an alert alarm and flashing red lights to take effect during the night. This makes it hard to figure out where each animatronics are at. I really just tried using the cameras as much as possible to see a glimpse of what animatronic shows up where. Not too bad once you get the hang of it, but definitely gave me a headache. This is a unique one. You aren't allowed to use cameras. This makes it to where the original strategy for Nights 4 and 5 is actually useful, which means it was intentional. Using the door lights to get Bonnie and Chica is easy, and Foxy's footsteps are fucking loud, so that is also easy. The only one you might be worried about is Freddy. Freddy will laugh constantly and you will hear it in both ears. That is until Freddy is going to a door. Use your directional audio to know which door he is coming out of. The window is once again 2 to 3 seconds, so react fast. After figuring it out, the night should be a breeze. After this night, I had enough money to unlock all the areas in the pizzeria. It is nice to be able to explore it all without threats of the animatronics killing you. Welcome to what is supposed to be the hardest challenge in FNAF in real time. 20-20-20-20 mode. Like every FNAF game ever made, 420 mode is supposed to test the skills of the player, going through the entirety of all animatronic levels and turning them up to max. This is going to be the most grueling challenge of the entire video. I beat it first try without any problems. Yep, that is what I did. I wouldn't say it was easy, far from it. I was using the past strategies of the previous nights and it was a nice challenge. As you can see, I even ran out of power for the first time and I cut this pretty close. You can't take away from the fact I beat it first try though. I want to go over these briefly as they are pretty cool. You can unlock some extra cutscenes to watch in the catalog. They are really well animated and I really enjoyed watching them. I would recommend watching these for yourself whenever you have time. One of them even shows what was happening to Donovan after one of his shifts. After doing all the challenges and collecting all of the drawings, you unlock Night 7. This night isn't a full night, it is the final cutscene. I will give my final thoughts on this game real quick. I think the game is really well put together. I wouldn't say it was really hard once you get it nailed down. I think there are some changes that are needed for it, as I mentioned in the video. However, the story is a nice touch and leaves a lot for theories and other things in the future. I want to see FNAF 2 in real time at some point in the future too. This gives us the final rating for the game to be a solid 4.5 out of 5 stars. Now we must end this video with the final cutscene.
I was broken my whole life, but now I can see mine's coming to an end. I thought this could be some sort of purpose, a sort of difference against him. But things change, and so do people. They warp, they turn, they twist, they're broken into the shape of a monster, with jagged edges, bruises and scars, and infinite memories of a dream that couldn't happen. The existence of your death being a myth, a conspiracy, just a theory. I'm not a daughter. I'm a brother to many, a brother to most. The stage is empty. Their seats are cleared. Their servers are broken, forever tucked behind the curtain. Their building is rotten. Their parts are deteriorating. And after one last night, the game is over. No more songs, no more sleep, forever tucked away by the darkness. There's no one left to save them. There's no one left to save me.